Hey there, my name is Martin, and in this video, I'm going to answer the question that's on everyone's mind: can you sublimate on epoxy resin? This is a really important question for anyone who wants to start using this process in their business, because it opens up a lot of new possibilities. But first, subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date on all my latest content. So stay tuned and I'll give you all the answers. 1. What is sublimation? Sublimation is the process by which a substance transitions from a solid to a gas without first becoming a liquid. This can occur when the substance is exposed to heat or pressure, or when it comes into contact with a solvent. By definition, sublimation is a reversible process, so the substance can transition back to its solid form if the conditions are right. Some common examples of substances that undergo sublimation are dry ice, camphor, and iodine. In many cases, sublimation can be used as a way to purify or cleanse a substance. For instance, impurities often become trapped in the solid form of a substance, but they can be released when the substance is sublime. As a result, sublimation is often used as a method of extracting essential oils from plants. Sublimation can also be used to create interesting visual effects, such as those seen in ghosting or fog photography. When done correctly, sublimation can produce ethereal and otherworldly images. 2. What is epoxy resin? Epoxy resin is a type of synthetic resin that is used in a variety of applications, including as an adhesive and as a sealant. It is made up of two main components, a base resin and a curing agent. The base resin is typically a liquid, while the curing agent is solid. When these two components are mixed together, they undergo a chemical reaction that causes the mixture to harden into a solid state. Epoxy resins are known for their strong bonding properties and their resistance to heat, chemicals, and water. They are commonly used in the construction industry, as well as in the manufacturing of electronics and aerospace components. 3. How do you sublimate on epoxy resin? To sublimate on epoxy resin, you first need to mix the epoxy resin according to the instructions. Once it is mixed, pour it into a mold or onto a flat surface. Then, place your object onto the surface of the resin. Make sure that the object is not touching the sides of the mold or surface, as this can cause air bubbles. Finally, cure the resin according to the instructions. This usually involves letting it set for 24 hours or more. Once it is cured, your object will be permanently embedded in the resin. 4. What are the benefits of sublimating on epoxy resin? One of the great benefits of sublimating on epoxy resin is that it is a much faster process than other methods of printing. For example, with screen printing, you have to wait for the paint to dry before you can move on to the next color. With sublimation, the inks are transferred directly to the substrate, so you can move on to the next color as soon as the first one is done. This makes for a much faster turnaround time, which is great if you're working on a tight deadline. In addition, sublimation produces a much higher quality image than screen printing, so it's ideal for businesses that need to produce professional-looking marketing materials. Overall, sublimation is a great option for businesses that need high-quality prints in a hurry. 5. What are the drawbacks of sublimating on epoxy resin? One of the drawbacks of sublimating on epoxy resin is that it can be difficult to get the colors to adhere evenly to the surface. If the colors are not applied evenly, they can start to bleed and blend together, making it difficult to achieve crisp lines and sharp details. In addition, sublimating on epoxy resin can also be time-consuming, as each layer of color needs to be applied carefully and allowed to cure completely before the next layer can be added. As a result, sublimating on epoxy resin is often best suited for smaller projects where precision and detail are not as important. Overall, sublimating on epoxy resin can be a great way to produce high-quality prints in a hurry. However, there are some drawbacks to this printing method, such as the difficulty of getting colors to adhere evenly to the surface and the time-consuming nature of the process. If you're interested in learning more about sublimating on epoxy resin, be sure to check out our video tutorial on the subject. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tutorials like this one.